rising again. So I wanted to talk about a topic that I had with my partner yesterday, and we was just talking about intelligence and wisdom. But I'm going to hold for a moment, just in case anyone wants to catch this at the beginning, that the energy is aligned with them, the frequency, to tap in. Grand rising. I'm just going to wait a moment before I get into this topic. So yesterday in a conversation I was talking about intelligence and wisdom, and we were just kind of reflecting on our journey and our experiences. And I think in this world, in life, you'll come across a lot of people that are intelligent, especially academically as well, like having that intelligence. And an example that I can use, which I never really spoke about yesterday, was you could have, let's say for example, a counsellor, and you go to a counsellor because you need counselling, because you've gone through a particular thing, an experience, and the counsellor's been qualified and they've been able to learn or gather information which they're able to kind of support someone that needs the help. And it's always going to come from a information standpoint as opposed to an experience. And I've always, for a very long time, I've always resonated with people that have the experience to back things up. So as opposed to if you have a counsellor that's kind of gone through some experiences in life that may be similar to you, there's the information and the energy just hits a little bit different. So that's intelligence. And I feel like the wisdom comes through the experiences of the things that you've experienced. You can also have people that may be innocent and may come across as like having a pure energy, maybe more flowy, maybe more seem to be more present. But I think sometimes that can be it's like a blurred line. It's kind of blurred in the sense of that can come across as someone being super peaceful, but sometimes, many times from my own experiences of knowing people, it's more to do with them not having the experiences of life, so almost being naive to life and just seeing things as how they see it. It might come across as, you know, they may want to focus on joy, they may want to focus on the happy times, all those things, but they don't have those more intense experiences in life that kind of shape them and be able to have that wisdom. And I feel like the wisdom comes through not only experiencing whatever situation you're going through, but being able to come out on the other side and being able to like reflect, look back, you know, not holding on to these experiences or these emotions, but being able to just be more observative. And I found that for me, like being on my journey, like through the things that I've experienced, I never hold on to anything for too long. And just as a reflection, looking back yesterday, I was just kind of like looking back in my life and thinking, you know, has there ever been a time when I've really held on to something? And I know that we can do that on a subconscious level, not realizing, but looking back thinking, you know, have I ever had like these heightened emotions that have kind of sat with me and, you know, not been able to shift them? And I don't ever recall I don't ever recall that being a thing. And most of the things that I've experienced, you know, I've experienced them in a short window, and I've kind of had the realization. So it's more like I'm observing and having the I don't know if it's a strength. It's just like having a realization that this experience doesn't define who I am as a person, and knowing that it's temporary, but being able to observe. I remember more not recently, but in recent times, I remember I went for a run, and I was just crying all of a sudden, and I was thinking, why am I crying? Even when I was crying, I was thinking, why am I crying? I was just like observing myself, and I managed to get to the point of why I was so emotional at that particular moment of time. And that would be an example of having emotions stored up on a subconscious level, but not making it kind of rule me. You know, I didn't go into diving deeper into it, thinking that this is too sensitive for me to explore right now. And I know that can be a thing. So wisdom is not only having the information, but being able to explore, experience, come out on the other end, being able to help other people. You have like this social intelligence. There's a big difference. There's a lot of people that may regurgitate information and know a lot of things, but don't have the experiences to back it up. An example would be for me, you know, there may be many people that say, oh, doing a 3-day fast is great, but if you've never done a 3-day fast, then you don't really have that you don't really have it. You don't really have the true inner information. You're just regurgitating somebody else's information. So I feel like the wisdom comes through that experience. You know, I made a post a very, very long time ago saying, you know, I always rank experiences over qualifications. You know, life experiences over qualifications, all day, every day. Yes, I understand, have an understanding of information is good, it's great, it can be super, super helpful, but without the experience, you're just halfway there. But I feel like having the experience and the information is like a complete bundle. And there's a lot of things that I can't probably articulate, but I have an inner knowing because I've gone through the experiences. So if someone says to me, oh well, what are the benefits of a 200-day fast? I know the feeling of doing a 200-day fast better than me being able to explain why it's so good and why it's so beneficial, because the feeling is my feeling, and everyone's gonna have a different feeling. But until you've gone to that place, it's very hard for you to have an understanding of what that may feel like. If you've never had that feeling before, if you've never done that thing before, then you've never had that feeling. So it's very, very hard to explain the benefits of certain things. Or, you know, sometimes I do certain things just intuitively, and I feel like that's more to do with me being more aligned and me being a clearer channel to be able to obtain the information. So yeah, and as well, like, depending on what you're talking about, everyone knows a bit of everything, or has information about certain things. And when you idolize people, or you look up to people, idolize people, or respect people that may say certain things to you or give you certain bits of information, or you may know that they've done certain things, you may feel like the information that's shared is gold, and you know, that's the truth. And I'm not saying that there's no truth in that, but I feel like in order to have the true wisdom of something, I feel like you have to experience it for yourself. And that's that really. But yeah, it was a good convo, good reflection. But yeah, ultimately it comes down to you. And you know, a lot of people may feel a particular way because, you know, the ego and the pride. And yeah, even that's a whole nother thing. Ego and pride, it will stop you being your true authentic self. And I believe my truest self, no matter where I step into, wherever I go, you know, I don't try to be someone that I'm not. So existing in this reality is very, very easy for me to show up just being who I am, not having to like filter myself or, you know, put myself in a box to please people. You know, I'm not a people pleaser, because I have an inner knowing. I feel like I've had this for many years, but I feel like over time it's amplified, intensified. So yeah, I feel like the path to, if you're someone that's struggling with, you know, having a inner knowing, and you're still sitting in a people pleasing mode, or I feel like fasting is going to be the thing that helps you. Fasting is going to be the thing that really strips you. It strips back the layers. It strips back the things that are not your truth. And that may look very different to each person. But yeah, that is the way to, I feel like fasting is the way to enlightenment on probably all levels, because it really strips you back of the layers. It really brings forth suppressed emotions, and you've got to learn to sit with it, through it, and express it. So yeah, food for thought. And yeah, wisdom versus intelligence. And then yeah, it also comes down to being accountable and being self-aware. And these are things that I feel like you will find through your fasting journey. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here. But I hope there's some information there that may be of benefit to you. Do check out my previous video if you're someone that's interested in fasting. I'm going to be holding a free beginners intermittent fasting group as of Monday. I will have a link up in my bio for anyone that wants to join. I say beginners, but it's open for anyone. Even if you're someone that's fasted before but hasn't done it for a very long time but want to get back into it again, that will be for you. But yeah, if you're interested, either drop me a message under this video that I'm going to save in a moment, or comment, or yeah, send me a private message. But yeah, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day ahead, and I hope you're enjoying the weather, and I'll catch you soon.